G'day guys, we finally have the index for World Eaters in our hands, so let's have a look at what these blood-soaked maniacs can do in 10th edition Warhammer 40k.
Look for the blood god.
Alright, next up we have the World Eater's Lord on Juggernaut. This guy has previously been heavily overshadowed by the Lord Invocatus, because previously the Lord Invocatus was such an amazing force multiplier. However, this guy has brought some new abilities to the forefront that make him an interesting and competitively viable option when compared to Lord Invocatus. So let's have a look at what abilities he provides and let's see what he's worth. Alright, so the first thing that this guy gives, which is unique and very interesting, I won't go into his datasheet, he more or less hits like a brick shithouse and he deals damage in a similar way to the Lord Invocatus, which is just, heavy character damage, but any unit that he's attached to, he's going to be able to provide rerolls to charges, advances, and blood surge moves. Now, I personally think that this guy's best attached to a unit of Khorne Berserkers for that very reason. Sure, you could attach him to your 8-bound and you could send him in and use their greater movement to gain more utility out of those rerolls. However, being able to reroll blood surge moves can be an absolute game changer. There's been so many times where I've been playing a game where I've needed to roll a 4 or a 5 for my blood surge move and I've rolled a 3 and I'm like, damn it, if I could CP reroll that, I would. If there was a way that I could do something to increase that, I would, because had I rolled a 4 or a 5, I would have made it into engagement range with you and I'd be cutting you down. So that's one way that you can now do that, is by adding the Lord on Juggernaut to your unit of Khorne Berserkers. So I think that's really, really interesting. And also, rerolling those advances and charges is pretty spicy as well, particularly given that we have the ability to advance and charge. And I know there's a lot of people going to be saying, yeah, but you have a stratagem that allows you to just automatically 6-inch advance. But it's worth noting, A, that's a stratagem, so it costs command points, and B, it's a stratagem, so you can only use it once per phase. Attaching this guy to a unit is going to allow you to maybe take your 8-bound, move them up, auto-advance them 6, charge them in, whilst this guy moves up with the Berserkers and he advances them and re-rolls any bad advance rolls, then goes into charge and re-rolls any bad charge rolls. So it allows you to have 2 units aggressively postured, which is really, really exciting. Let me know what you guys think of the World Eater's Lord on Juggernaut. One of the other things that's worth noting before I do end on this unit is that he's not a unique character. So it means that he's eligible for those enhancements, whereas the Lord Invocatus is not. Things like Khan the Betrayer are not. So he's one of the eligible targets for those powerful buffs. And you're going to want a few of those in your army, which means you're going to want leaders that are non-named characters. And this guy is definitely one of the standout options for that.
Look for the blood god.
The Warhammer community suffers from some of the most prohibitively expensive essentials in the world, especially Australian content creators. Every single day, Dean wants to create content, but he can't. Suffering from old, worn-out brushes, expensive model kits, and costly software and equipment, he can't endure much longer. Just look at this dirty paint water. Would you drink this? Would you let your child? Even a small monthly donation can help provide Dean with clean paint water, basic tools for survival, and access to life-saving information and education. So please, follow the links in the description below and find out how you can sponsor Dean today and end the suffering. Suffering that is cruel, unsustainable, and your fault.